What if I told you that the life you dream of isn't waiting in some distant future, but is being built by what you do today? Most people underestimate the power of their daily habits. They chase big moments, major breakthroughs, hoping that one day something will magically change their life. But life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't arrive overnight, nor does happiness, health, or peace of mind. Every great life is crafted one day at a time through the small choices you make and the actions you repeat. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest motivational minds of our time, said it best: "Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals." That means what you do today matters, what you think today matters, the way you speak to yourself, how you show up it matters, because today shapes tomorrow. But here's the harsh truth: most people go through their days on autopilot. Routines that drain them, negative thoughts that control them, habits that keep them stuck, and they wonder why nothing changes. They don't realize that without intention, days turn into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, and life passes by. Wasted potential, unfulfilled dreams. But it doesn't have to be this way. You have the power to change the trajectory of your life. And it starts with mastering your daily practices, the simple, powerful actions that can transform your mindset, your energy, your results. You don't need luck. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need the right habits and the discipline to stick to them. And that's exactly what you'll discover here today. The 10 daily practices, drawn from the timeless wisdom of Jim Rohn, that can rewire your thinking, fuel your motivation, and unlock your potential. These are not complex, they are simple, but powerful. When you apply them daily, they will help you build an unstoppable mindset, one that attracts success, joy, and fulfillment. Why should you keep watching? Because the reward is greater than you can imagine. When you master these daily practices, you'll feel it. Your energy will rise, your clarity will sharpen, your confidence will grow. You'll no longer be a prisoner of old habits or negative thinking. You'll become the architect of your own life, designing a future that excites you and inspires those around you. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop drifting? Are you ready to take ownership of your days and through them your life? If so, stay with me. What follows can change everything, not in theory, but in practice. Not someday, but starting today. It all begins with a simple shift each morning, a choice to start the day not with stress or complaints, but with gratitude. Before the rush of the world demands your attention, pause, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I thankful for right now? The answers may surprise you. The warmth of sunlight through your window, the breath in your lungs, the opportunity to try again today. In these small moments of appreciation, your mindset begins to transform. Gratitude is not just a feel-good exercise. It is one of the most powerful tools for rewiring the brain. Studies show that a consistent practice of gratitude activates the brain's reward system, lowers stress hormones, and builds resilience. It shifts your focus away from what's lacking toward what's possible. You begin to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. You train your mind to seek the good even on the hardest days. Jim Rohn often spoke about the importance of controlling your own attitude, of being the master of your emotions. Gratitude is the foundation of that mastery. It is impossible to be both grateful and fearful, grateful and angry, grateful and discouraged at the same time. When you start your day from a place of appreciation, you disarm negativity before it takes hold. You build emotional strength from the inside out. Many chase success thinking it will bring happiness, but here's the truth. Happiness is not the reward of success, it is the fuel for it. A grateful heart moves through life with greater energy, purpose, and connection. And from that elevated state, action becomes easier, decisions become clearer, relationships become richer. You begin to attract more of what you once hoped for because you are operating at a higher frequency. Imagine this each morning before you check your phone, before the noise of the world seeps in. You take 5 minutes to reflect on 3 things you are truly grateful for. Over time, those 5 minutes reshape your entire outlook. They become a protective shield against the chaos of life. They remind you that no matter what challenges arise, there is always something worth appreciating, always a reason to keep going. But gratitude is not meant to stay inside. As it fills you, let it spill out into your words and actions. Thank the people in your life, acknowledge their efforts, share your appreciation. This simple act not only deepens your relationships, it also multiplies your own sense of abundance. Because when you give gratitude, you grow it. And here is the deeper truth. When you begin each day with gratitude, you declare to yourself and the universe that you are ready for more. You are no longer focused on scarcity. You are operating from abundance, and abundance attracts abundance. If you want to master your mindset, start here, not someday today. When you rise tomorrow, choose gratitude before anything else. Let it be your first victory of the day. One small shift repeated daily can create unstoppable momentum, because how you begin each day sets the tone for everything that follows. Stay with me, because as you strengthen this foundation, there are even greater practices ahead that will elevate your mindset, sharpen your focus, and unlock your true potential. The journey has only just begun. With your heart grounded in gratitude, you are now prepared to guide the direction of your day with purpose, with clarity, with intent. Before the hours unfold, before distractions pull you off course, take a moment to ask yourself, what do I want from this day? What kind of person do I choose to be today? Setting clear intentions is not about rigid schedules or unrealistic expectations. It is about declaring to yourself what truly matters. When you set an intention, you give your mind a target. Without that target, you drift. Days blur into each other, but with a clear aim, you move with purpose. You take conscious steps that bring you closer to the life you want. The human brain is wired to seek alignment. When you clearly state what you want, your subconscious mind goes to work, filtering out distractions and noticing opportunities that match your goals. This is not magic, it is the science of focus. What you focus on, you move toward. Jim Rohn taught that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But discipline without direction is wasted energy. You must know where you are going. Each morning, take just a few minutes to write down your top intentions for the day. These can be small: to speak kindly to yourself, to stay patient under pressure, to complete a key task that moves your dream forward. The size of the action matters less than the clarity of the intention. When you do this, you reclaim your power. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You become a person who lives on purpose, not by default. And that changes everything. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their attention to the world, to news, social media, other people's demands. But the strongest minds, the most fulfilled lives, belong to those who guard their focus and set their own course each day. They understand that time is precious, that every day is a building block of their future. They know that clear intentions shape clear results. So imagine this simple but powerful ritual. After your gratitude practice, you sit quietly with a journal. You write, "Today I will," and you complete the sentence with 1, 2, or 3 core intentions. Over time, this practice sharpens your focus. It builds a habit of living intentionally, and as your clarity grows, so does your confidence. You begin to see your ability to shape your outcomes not by chance, but by choice. There is deep freedom in this. You no longer feel at the mercy of circumstances. You no longer wait for motivation to strike. Instead, you generate your own drive through clear intention. You become the kind of person who wakes each day with purpose and moves through life with direction. And as you strengthen this habit, something beautiful happens. You start to trust yourself more. You prove to yourself that your words have power, that your intentions lead to action, and this trust builds inner strength, a quiet, unshakable confidence that carries you through any challenge. Master your mornings, and you master your life. Begin with gratitude, set your intentions, and then, one step at a time, bring those intentions to life. Because when you live each day with purpose, the days start to stack. Small wins become big progress. Moments of clarity become months of momentum, and a life once lived on autopilot transforms into a life of meaning, fulfillment, and achievement. There is no better time to start than today. There is no greater reward than a life lived with purpose. And with each intention you set, you step closer to the person you were meant to be. Stay tuned because this journey is just getting started, and what's ahead will elevate you even higher. Once your intentions are clear, the next vital step is to feed your mind. Every day, your mind is shaped by what you allow into it. The thoughts you think, the words you hear, the ideas you expose yourself to, they build your beliefs, your emotions, your actions. You cannot expect a strong, focused, and empowered life if you are feeding your mind with negativity, noise, and distractions. Jim Rohn famously said, "Your mind is like a garden. You can cultivate it or you can neglect it, but whatever you plant, it will return." If you want to live a life of growth, success, and fulfillment, you must feed your mind with wisdom, with positive influences, with ideas that elevate you, because what goes in must come out. The truth is, most people don't protect their mental environment. They allow the constant drip of news headlines, the endless scroll of social media, the voices of fear and doubt to occupy their thoughts, and slowly their mindset weakens, they lose clarity, they lose drive. They begin to doubt what's possible, but you are not most people. You have the power to choose what you feed your mind, and that choice shapes everything. Just imagine this. Instead of starting your day with news or gossip, you dedicate 15 to 30 minutes to learning something that uplifts and inspires you. You read a chapter from a book that expands your thinking. You listen to a podcast that teaches you a new skill. You watch a video that deepens your understanding of success, happiness, or resilience. Over time, this simple habit compounds. Day by day, you grow wiser, stronger, more capable. Your thinking sharpens, your perspective widens, you begin to see new possibilities, new strategies, new ways of approaching life, and as your mind expands, so do your results. Psychologists have long known that the mind responds to repetition. The more you feed it positive, empowering ideas, the more those ideas become part of who you are. Doubt is replaced with belief, fear is replaced with courage, confusion is replaced with clarity, and that inner transformation fuels outer action. Jim Rohn himself was a lifelong learner. He credited much of his success to the hours he spent reading, listening, studying. He knew that the mind is a muscle, and like any muscle, it must be exercised, not once a week, but every day. Because the stronger your mind, the greater your ability to face challenges, seize opportunities, and create the life you desire. Think about this. What if, starting today, you committed to feeding your mind every single day? What if you made learning a non-negotiable part of your routine? The results would be extraordinary. You would think differently, you would act differently, and in time you would live differently. So ask yourself now, what will you feed your mind today? Will you leave it to chance, or will you choose to cultivate it with purpose? The choice is yours, and that choice, made daily, holds the power to change everything. The journey continues. Stay with me because the practices that follow will help you unlock even greater levels of energy, strength, and achievement, and your potential is just beginning to rise. As the mind is nourished, so too must the body be moved. Because your body is not separate from your mind, it is the vehicle through which your thoughts, emotions, and actions come to life. You can have the sharpest vision and the clearest intentions, but without energy, without vitality, it becomes nearly impossible to follow through. Jim Rohn often reminded us, take care of your body, it's the only place you have to live, and yet, so many neglect this truth. They treat movement as optional, exercise as an afterthought. But what they fail to see is that energy is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, motivation fades, focus weakens, willpower crumbles. When you move your body every day, even for a short time, you awaken your potential. You generate energy that fuels the mind and sharpens your emotional state. Science is clear. Daily movement releases endorphins, reduces stress, increases mental clarity, and strengthens discipline. It turns sluggishness into momentum, fatigue into vitality. You do not need to run marathons. You do not need hours in the gym. What matters is consistency, the commitment to move your body every day. A brisk walk, stretching, bodyweight exercises, a quick workout at home. The form is flexible. The habit is what counts, because when you choose movement, you are choosing life. You are signaling to yourself that you are worth the effort, that your dreams are worth the strength. You are conditioning your mind and body to operate at a higher level. And that elevated state spills into everything you do, your work, your relationships, your creativity, your resilience. Think of the greatest achievers, the most fulfilled lives. They do not leave their energy to chance. They cultivate it, they protect it. They know that when the body moves, the mind follows, that discipline in one area creates discipline in others. That showing up for yourself physically empowers you to show up for your goals, your vision, your life. Picture this: each day, no matter how busy or tired, you carve out time for movement, you honor that commitment, and in doing so, you build not just strength, but trust in yourself. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you are disciplined, that you can and will do what it takes. And from that trust comes confidence. A quiet, unshakable confidence that transforms how you approach challenges, setbacks, opportunities, because when you know you can rely on yourself to do what matters, fear loses its grip, doubt loses its voice. So ask yourself now, will you move today? Will you honor your body, your energy, your life with this simple but powerful act? The choice, as always, is yours. And the rewards will ripple far beyond what you can see today. Stay with me because the path ahead will take this rising energy and channel it into deeper clarity, greater growth, and unstoppable momentum. And your transformation is only gaining strength. With your body energized and your mind expanding, another powerful practice emerges, one that many overlook, yet it holds the key to true personal growth: self-reflection. Each day, life offers lessons. In every conversation, in every challenge, in every small success, there are insights waiting to be discovered. But too often, we rush forward without pausing to reflect. We repeat the same mistakes, fall into the same patterns, and wonder why progress feels slow. Jim Rohn believed in the power of reflection. He understood that awareness is the first step to change. You cannot improve what you do not acknowledge. You cannot grow if you do not understand where you are starting from. Taking time each day, even just a few quiet moments to look inward, is one of the most transformative habits you can build. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I learn from this experience? How can I show up stronger tomorrow? This is not about judgment or criticism. It is about growth. It is about becoming the kind of person who is always evolving, always learning, always reaching for a higher standard. Because success is not found in perfection, it is found in the pursuit of excellence. Self-reflection sharpens your self-awareness. It reveals your patterns, both positive and negative. It helps you see where your habits align with your goals and where they pull you away. And with that clarity, you gain the power to make better choices, to course correct, to level up. And there is a deeper benefit. Reflection builds humility. It reminds you that no matter how far you've come, there is always more to learn, more to give, more to become. It keeps you grounded, hungry, open, and in that space, real growth happens. Imagine this simple practice at the end of each day. You take 5 to 10 minutes away from distractions. You sit with a journal or simply in thought. You review your actions, your mindset, your energy. You celebrate your wins. You acknowledge your gaps, and you commit to even one small improvement for tomorrow. Over time, this habit compounds. Your awareness deepens. Your choices sharpen. You begin to move through life with greater intention, greater wisdom, greater impact. You start to see yourself as a work in progress, and that identity fuels unstoppable momentum. Jim Rohn taught that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Self-reflection strengthens that bridge. It keeps you connected to your values, your mission, your potential. It ensures that each step you take is aligned with the life you want to create. And as you practice this daily, something shifts inside you. You develop a quiet inner strength, a sense of ownership over your life. You no longer blame circumstances or other people. You take full responsibility for your growth, and that mindset is rare and powerful. So as this day closes, will you choose to reflect? Will you honor your growth by looking within, by learning, by evolving? The answers you seek are often already inside you, waiting to be discovered through reflection. The journey continues, and as you strengthen this habit, the next practices will help you elevate not only yourself, but also the people around you, because true success is not just personal, it is shared, and the impact you can create is greater than you know. As you reflect and grow each day, another truth becomes clear: success is not a solo journey. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset, your beliefs, and ultimately your life. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Think about that for a moment. Who are you allowing to influence you? Are they lifting you higher, challenging you to grow, inspiring you to dream bigger, or are they pulling you back into old patterns, limiting your vision, feeding your doubts? Human beings are wired for connection. We are influenced often unconsciously by the attitudes, habits, and expectations of those around us. If you spend time with driven, positive, growth-minded people, their energy will fuel your own. Their discipline will raise your standards. Their success will expand your sense of what's possible. But if you remain in environments of negativity, complacency, or fear, that influence will seep into your mindset. Your confidence will erode, your vision will shrink, and over time you will settle for less than what you are truly capable of. This is why it is essential to build positive relationships, to seek out those who inspire you, to invest in friendships and connections that align with your values and your vision, because in the right environment, growth becomes inevitable. You do not need hundreds of people. Even 1 or 2 powerful relationships can transform your life. A mentor who challenges your thinking, a friend who supports your dreams, a community that celebrates your progress. These connections create accountability, encouragement, and belief. And belief is a force multiplier. Think about the times in your life when you felt most motivated, most alive, most unstoppable. Chances are you were surrounded by people who believed in you, people who saw your potential sometimes even before you saw it yourself. That kind of belief is fuel. It pushes you beyond limits. It helps you rise after failure. It reminds you of who you are and who you can become. But here's the key: building positive relationships is an intentional practice. It does not happen by chance. You must choose to seek out the right people. You must be willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth. You must be the kind of person who also lifts others, because like attracts like. Imagine this: each week you reach out to someone who inspires you. You invest time in conversations that energize you. You distance yourself from negativity and instead create an environment that fuels your best self. Over time, your circle evolves, and as your circle evolves, so do you. Jim Rohn understood that success is not just about what you do, it is about who you become. And who you become is shaped by who you spend time with. So ask yourself now, who is in your circle? Who do you need to connect with? And what kind of person will you choose to be in those relationships? Because as you elevate your connections, you elevate your life. And as this circle of growth and positivity strengthens, it creates the foundation for even greater achievements, because no dream is too big when you are surrounded by those who believe in your greatness. Stay with me, because as your mindset, energy, and relationships rise, there are even more powerful practices ahead that will help you take full control of your time, your emotions, and your destiny. Your transformation is only accelerating as your relationships elevate you. Another vital truth emerges: your time is your life. Every moment you spend is an investment. And like any investment, it either compounds toward your dreams or drains your potential. Jim Rohn often said, either you run the day or the day runs you. And this is where so many people struggle. They allow time to slip through their fingers, lost to distractions, wasted on the unimportant. Days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and then they wonder why their goals feel out of reach. But those who master their lives first master their time. They understand that every hour holds power. Every decision on how to spend it shapes the path they walk. And the beauty is this: you don't need more time. You need more intention with the time you already have. Think about this. Each morning you wake up with 24 hours, the same as the most successful people in the world. What separates them is not luck or talent or resources. It is clarity, it is discipline, it is the ability to focus their time on what truly matters. They prioritize what moves them forward. They say no to what drains them. They protect their most valuable hours, those moments of peak energy and creativity, and dedicate them to their highest goals. They understand that distractions may feel urgent, but rarely are they important. And here's what most miss: mastering time is not about filling your schedule to the brim. It's about creating space to think, to reflect, to do deep work, to rest and recharge. Because a burned-out mind cannot create, a scattered life cannot build lasting success. One of the simplest yet most powerful practices you can adopt is to plan your day before it begins. Just 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, reviewing your intentions, identifying your top priorities, and mapping out when you will tackle them. This clarity transforms your day. You move with purpose. You act instead of react. You align your time with your values and your vision, and as you stack these intentional days, momentum builds, progress becomes visible, motivation strengthens. Jim Rohn taught that small disciplines, practiced consistently, create massive results. Time mastery is one of those disciplines. It may seem simple, but its impact is profound, because when you take command of your time, you take command of your life. So ask yourself now, where is your time going? What do you need to say no to? What deserves more of your focused energy? And what will you do today to align your time with the life you want to create? The answers to these questions hold incredible power. Because as you master your time, you create space for growth, for achievement, for joy. Space to become the person you know you can be. And as this mastery of time deepens, the next practices will help you sharpen not only your focus, but your resilience, your emotional strength, and your ability to thrive in any circumstance. Your momentum is building. Stay with me. As your days become more intentional, there is one more force that must be mastered: your emotions. Because no matter how strong your goals, how clear your vision, or how well you manage your time, life will test you. Challenges will arise, people will disappoint you, plans will fall apart, and in those moments it is your emotional control that determines whether you rise or fall. Jim Rohn understood this deeply. He said, "It isn't what the book costs, it's what it will cost if you don't read it." The same is true for emotional mastery. It isn't what a difficult moment costs you, it's what it will cost if you let it derail your mindset, your discipline, your progress. Most people live in reaction. A rude comment throws off their whole day, a small setback drains their motivation, but those who master success master their emotions. They learn to respond instead of react. They build an inner strength that is not shaken by circumstances. This is not about suppressing feelings. It is about understanding them, recognizing that emotions are signals, not commands, that anger, fear, frustration, they will come and go, but you choose whether they control you. When you practice emotional control daily, you protect your focus. You stay calm under pressure. You make decisions from wisdom, not from impulse. And this gives you a powerful edge because the world belongs to those who can stay composed when others lose their way. How do you build this strength? It starts with awareness. Throughout your day, notice your emotions. When stress rises, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? What is the best response here? Over time, this pause becomes a habit. And with each practice, your emotional muscles grow stronger. Jim Rohn often spoke about personal responsibility, the idea that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. This is where your power lies, not in the absence of difficulty, but in the presence of discipline. Imagine the freedom this creates, the ability to move through challenges with grace, to maintain your vision even when the path is unclear, to keep moving forward when others stop. This is not just about success, it is about peace of mind, about living a life where you are in charge, not your emotions. And the beauty is this: emotional mastery feeds every other part of your life. It strengthens your relationships, it deepens your confidence, it sharpens your focus, and it allows you to pursue your goals with unwavering consistency. So as you move through today, ask yourself, am I reacting or am I responding? Am I choosing my emotions or are they choosing me? And what small shift can I make right now to strengthen this control? Because each time you choose calm over chaos, clarity over confusion, discipline over impulse, you grow. You become stronger, steadier, more unstoppable, and that version of you is capable of extraordinary things. And as this inner strength builds, so too will your ability to grow, to achieve, and to serve at the highest level. There are still deeper practices ahead, and with each one, your transformation will accelerate. Stay with me, the best is yet to come. With emotional strength taking root, another daily practice becomes essential, a commitment to personal growth. Because no matter where you start, no matter what level of success you reach, there is always more to learn, more to become, more to give. Jim Rohn believed this with all his heart. He said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job, because when you grow, everything around you grows. Your opportunities expand, your impact multiplies, your life transforms from the inside out. The mistake many make is believing that learning ends with school, with degrees, with a certain age. But the truth is this: the moment you stop growing, you begin to decline. Stagnation is the enemy of success. It drains your passion, limits your vision, and weakens your spirit. But when you commit to daily growth, you ignite a fire within you. Each new insight, each new skill, each new level of understanding fuels your progress. You begin to see the world and yourself with fresh eyes. Challenges become opportunities, setbacks become lessons, and life becomes a never-ending journey of improvement. The most successful, fulfilled people on this planet are not the ones who know it all. They are the ones who are always learning. They read, they listen, they ask questions, they surround themselves with mentors, they stay curious, humble, and hungry. And this habit of growth is contagious. As you evolve, those around you are inspired to evolve. Your energy uplifts them. Your example challenges them, and together you rise. The key is consistency. Growth is not something you pursue once in a while. It is something you weave into the fabric of your life. Even 15 minutes a day dedicated to learning can transform your future. A book, a podcast, a conversation with someone wiser than you. The form doesn't matter, the commitment does. And growth is not limited to knowledge. It is about character, about mindset, about skills and wisdom and heart. It is about becoming the kind of person who adds more value to the world each day, who leaves people, places, and situations better than you found them. Imagine waking up each day knowing that you will be better by nightfall, even if just by one small step. That is power, that is progress, that is how extraordinary lives are built, not in giant leaps, but in daily, intentional growth. Jim Rohn often reminded us, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Personal growth is one of those disciplines, and its rewards are limitless. So ask yourself now, what will I learn today? How will I grow today? What skill will I sharpen? What weakness will I confront? What part of myself will I elevate? Because when you commit to growth, you commit to a life of purpose, passion, and possibility. And with each step forward, you become the person your goals require you to be. And this upward spiral of growth leads naturally to the next great practice, one that will not only elevate your life, but also the lives of everyone you touch. Stay with me. Your potential is rising. The journey continues.